Probably gonna get on people's nerves. They can't hear me. My name is Veronica. I am 22 years old and I am addicted to plastic bags. My addiction began about 3 years ago. I don't even think it's an addiction because I didn't even call this show. My parents called this show, so they thought it was strange. But my addiction began when I went to the supermarket and I finally bagged my first groceries, and I just fell in love with the sound, and it was just so invigorating and amazing to hear. I just never separated ever since. I have to have a bag with me at all times, no matter what I'm doing, where I'm going, or who I'm with. I constantly have to hear the sound or else I can't function in life. I actually had my house redecorated and just like revamped. Like everything's in plastic. I have plastic on my seats, on my refrigerator, my bed, in my shower. It's just amazing. I get them from grocery stores, convenience stores, plastic stores. Sometimes I get used ones. I would go into the trash bins whenever someone throws them out, and I would take them and I would clean them and just put them in my home. Whenever I'm getting ready in the morning, I always have about 3 bags with me. I have to have it in the shower, and I use it to, wash my body because it feels so good on my skin, and it's like so invigorating. I usually wrap my body in the plastic before I actually put my clothes on. So like whenever I am walking around, I can hear it, like a very faint, subtle sound of the ruffles. I do my makeup, of course, with plastic, and brush my teeth with plastic, and I do my hair and I get ready to go. And I mean, right now you can't really tell because I'm wearing like regular clothes. My parents said I had to look normal for the show. All of my outfits in my closet, like all my skirts, my pants, my shirts, shoes, underwear, everything, it's all plastic. I kind of have become a shopaholic because like you can't just take plastic bags. They won't give it to you because I tried asking. They told me I had to actually like buy stuff. So every day I buy about, I would say roughly about $200 or $300 worth of groceries, and I kind of just like give it away. But I just keep the plastic bags for myself. I'm not allowed in a lot of places. Like I can't go to the library or the movie theater. They say I'm a distraction at work because they say it's too noisy and you can't concentrate. But they just don't embrace the sound, and once you do, I think everyone's lives would be so much better. I don't even hear the sound anymore. Like it's just like second nature to me. And whenever I'm not hearing it, see, like, it sounds weird, right? Like I can't. I also get a lot of death threats and angry letters from like environmentalists, and they say that I'm just like damaging the world because I have so many bags, but I think I'm helping it because like where else are the bags gonna go? Recently I had announced my engagement to my very first bag that we met. His name's Pete, and we met, and it was just so amazing. I was driving in my car, and he just came right up to my window shield. It was like love at first sight. The way he was blowing on my windshield wiper, it was just so beautiful. And I probably should have stopped my car because, I mean, I couldn't really see the road, but I kept driving anyways. And I couldn't take my eyes off of him. So yeah, my parents, they told me that there was something wrong with me, and they said they were calling the show and that I just needed help. But I think that they're just jealous because they're not in love the way we are. By the way, our wedding is on the 5th of December, so you all are invited. Not my family because they suck and they don't care about me, but you guys are. I'm going to design my own dress, of course, and my bags, just so I can just be one with Pete. As for my relationship with Pete goes, don't tell him I told you this, but sometimes it feels like whenever we are intimate with one another and we kiss, it just feels like he's suffocating me. And it gets a little clingy sometimes. Don't tell him I told you that. But, I mean, I still love him, and he's just amazing. You can tell him that. But don't tell him I told you about the second part. I feel like my family just doesn't respect him. They just use him to hold things, and they just don't care about his feelings like I do. It's not right, and I always tell my family, like, he's not just a bag. He's like life and love, and he's just, they don't understand. There's just so many amazing uses for plastic bags. Like, I'll show you, like, I'll do a little DIY with you. So when I get ready, typically I take a plastic bag and I put it in my shirt, and I wrap it around my body, and like, one second. So this is typically what I wear every day. I get a lot of different feedback from people. Some people like stare at me, some people laugh, some people like take pictures, and they ask me if this is for like a show or a joke or something. And I usually just like laugh, and I tell them like, this is real life. You know, like a lot of girls get really jealous because like I'm like on fleek all the time with my bags. They have a little too much salt on their potato chips. Like they just need to chillax. I get a lot of rude comments. A lot of people say I should just like make these bags into a straight jacket and commit myself, but like they're just jealous. Whatever. It gets really difficult at times because I just want them to understand me and understand where I'm coming from, and that I need this in my life. And sorry, my hair. I will never stop my addiction to plastic bags. I feel like I'm an inspiration to others. I don't care what other people have to say or what they think about me and my bags. And I feel like if you can't be who you are, then who are you? You know? I think everyone should just stand their ground and, you know, be who they want to be on the inside, and love yourself, and just don't be afraid. I lost my shirt. They need to accept that people are different. Like, I mean, if everyone else wants to be mainstream and they want to do what the normal thing to do is, they just don't want to be willing to understand and accept change and difference, then, like, screw them. So, yeah. Pete and I will definitely keep you updated on our wedding plans, and if my family just doesn't come, then they don't come. But, I hope you guys do come, and I will see you guys hopefully at the altar. Bye. I have absolutely no idea what you guys just watched or what I made, but all I do know is that this was really fun to actually sit here and film. I'm not gonna lie, I do like the sound of plastic crinkling, probably because I was sitting here for like an hour and like rubbing it in my ears the entire time, so I did get used to the sound. And it is kind of soothing, so I'm not going to knock it, but I'm not going to wear plastic and stuff when I go outside. So you don't have to worry about that. Definitely check out Andrea's channel and subscribe to her and give her as much love and support as you do for me. This was all her idea for the collab, and I'm really enjoyed myself doing it. So definitely check her out and subscribe. And I guess I'll see you guys next time. Maybe tomorrow, I don't know. Depends on if I edit and post, but sometime soon. So yeah. Have a wonderful night, morning, evening, or afternoon whenever you're watching, and I'll see you guys next time.